Vevey is a town in Switzerland in the canton Vaud, on the north shore of Lake Geneva, near Lausanne. It was the seat of the district of the same name until 2006, and is now part of the Riviera-Pays-d'Enhaut District. It is part of the French-speaking area of Switzerland. Vevey is noted for being the final home of comedy legend Charlie Chaplin and his family from 1952 to 1977. Vevey is home to the world headquarters of the food giant Nestlé, founded here in 1867. Milk chocolate was invented in Vevey by Daniel Peter in 1875. History: a pilot tea settlement existed here as early as the 2nd millennium BC. Under Rome, it was known as Viviscus Vibiscum. It was mentioned for the first time by the ancient Greek astronomer and philosopher Ptolemy, who gave it the name Oikos. In the Middle Ages, it was a station on the Via Francigena. It was then ruled by the bishopric of Lausanne, and later under the Blanet family. Vevey lived through a period of prosperity after the Vaud Revolution of 1798. In the 19th century, industrial activities included mechanical engineering at the ateliers to constructions mécaniques de Vevey, food and tobacco. Geography: Vevey has an area, as of 2009, of 2.4 square kilometers. Of this area, 0.07 square kilometers or 2.9% is used for agricultural purposes, while 0.11 square kilometers or 4.6% is forested. Of the rest of the land, 2.13 square kilometers or 89.5% is settled, 0.04 square kilometers or 1.7% is either rivers or lakes. Of the built-up area, industrial buildings made up 2.9% of the total area, while housing and buildings made up 51.3% and transportation infrastructure made up 26.9%. Power and water infrastructure as well as other special developed areas made up 1.7% of the area, while parks, green belts and sports fields made up 6.7%. Out of the forested land, all of the forested land area is covered with heavy forests. Of the agricultural land, 0.4% is used for growing crops and 1.7% is pastures. All the water in the municipality is flowing water. The municipality was the capital of the Vevey district until it was dissolved on the 31st of August 2006, and Vevey became the capital of the new district of Riviera-Pays-d'Enhaut. Coat of arms: the blazon of the municipal coat of arms is purple or an azure, 2 letters V interlaced counterchange. Demographics: Vevey has a population of 19,453. As of 2008, 43.2% of the population are resident foreign nationals. Over the last 10 years the population has changed at a rate of 16.2%. It has changed at a rate of 14.2% due to migration and at a rate of 3.4% due to births and deaths. Most of the population speaks French as the first language, with Italian being second most common and Portuguese being third. There are 599 people who speak German and 7 people who speak Romansh. The age distribution as of 2009 in Vevey is 1,945 children, or 10.8% of the population are between 0 and 9 years old, and 1,928 teenagers, or 10.7% are between 10 and 19. Of the adult population, 2,543 people, or 14.1% of the population, are between 20 and 29 years old. 3,059 people, or 17.0%, are between 30 and 39. 2,852 people, or 15.9%, are between 40 and 49. And 2,059 people, or 11.5%, are between 50 and 59. The senior population distribution is 1,516 people, or 8.4% of the population are between 60 and 69 years old. 1,131 people, or 6.3%, are between 70 and 79. There are 806 people, or 4.5%, who are between 80 and 89. And there are 138 people, or 0.8%, who are 90 and older. As of 2000, there were 6,936 people who were single and never married in the municipality. There were 6,966 married individuals, 1,065 widows or widowers, and 1,235 individuals who are divorced. As of 2000, there were 7,830 private households in the municipality, and an average of 2 persons per household. There were 3,667 households that consist of only one person and 334 households with 5 or more people, out of a total of 8,012 households that answered this question. 45.8% were households made up of just one person, and there were 39 adults who live with the parents. Of the rest of the households, there are 1,694 married couples without children, 1,754 married couples with children. There were 527 single parents with a child or children. There were 149 households that were made up of unrelated people, and 182 households that were made up of some sort of institution or another. Collective housing. In 2000, there were 264 single-family homes out of a total of 1,286 inhabited buildings. There were 565 multifamily buildings, along with 329 multi-purpose buildings that were mostly used for housing, and 128 other use buildings that also had some housing. In 2000, a total of 7,752 apartments were permanently occupied, while 1,117 apartments were seasonally occupied and 430 apartments were empty. As of 2009, the construction rate of new housing units was 6.8 new units per 1,000 residents. As of 2003, the average price to rent an average apartment in Vevey was 1,067.93 Swiss francs per month. The average rate for a one-room apartment was 567 Swiss francs and 76 Rappen. A two-room apartment was about 787 Swiss francs and 77 Rappen. A three-room apartment was about 1,014 Swiss francs and 16 Rappen, and a sixth or more room apartment cost an average of 1,817 Swiss francs and 64 Rappen. The average apartment price in Vevey was 95.7% of the national average of 1,116 Swiss francs. The vacancy rate for the municipality in 2010 was 0.45%. The historical population is given in the following chart. Heritage sites of national significance. There are 14 structures in Vevey that are listed as Swiss Heritage Site of National Significance. The 4 museums on the list are the Alimentarium, the Museum de la Confrérie des Vignerons, the Museum Genève, and the Museum Suisse de l'Appareil Photographique. There are 3 churches: the Roman Catholic Church of Notre Dame, the Orthodox Church, and the Swiss Reformed Church of St. Martin. The other 7 buildings are the Administration Building and Historical Archives of Nesle-sur-Isle Castle, the Coro Chantre, the City Hall, the Hôtel des Trois Garons, the Le Grenette and Place du Marché, and the St. Jean Tower and Fountain. Main sites. The Grande Place is dominated by a granary known as Le Granette, built in 1803 in the neoclassical, rustic style. Behind Le Granette is the restaurant Le Clef, in which Jean-Jacques Rousseau used to eat. The table at which he sat is still to be seen in the restaurant. St. Martin's Church, a few minutes' walk away from the Grande Place, contains the bodies of a number of those who condemned King Charles I of England to death, especially that of Edmund Ludlow, who escaped to Vevey after the death of Oliver Cromwell. Additionally, there is a large fork just off the shore of the lake. The fork was originally installed in 1995 as a temporary exhibit. Removed in 1996 and replaced in 2007, it finally got authorization to remain in the lake in 2008 and has become an emblem for the townspeople. Festivals. The Confrérie des Vignerons organizes the Wine Growers' Festival 4 or 5 times each century to celebrate its wine-growing traditions and culture. On those occasions an arena for 16,000 spectators is built in the marketplace, the Grande Place, which is the second biggest marketplace in Europe, after Lisbon, Portugal. The festivals date from the 18th century. The last 5 were in 1905, 1927, 1955, 1977 and 1999. Market. The town is also known for its large market on Tuesday and Saturday mornings. The Vevey folk markets, known locally as the Marches Folkloriques, normally has up to 2,000 visitors each Saturday over a period of 2 months. Visitors can buy a wine glass and drink to the heart's content while listening to brass bands, Swiss folk music, and watching traditional craftsmen at work. These folk markets are organized by the Société de Développement de Vevey. Politics. In the 2007 federal election, the most popular party was the SP, which received 27.21% of the vote. The next 3 most popular parties were the SVP, the Green Party and the FDP. In the federal election, a total of 3,217 votes were cast, and the voter turnout was 40.0%. Many of the Union Cycliste Internationale defamation lawsuits against its critics have occurred under the Est Vaudois District Court of Vevey. Economy. As of 2010, Vevey had an unemployment rate of 8.1%. As of 2008, there were 9 people employed in the primary economic sector and about 6 businesses involved in this sector. 1,320 people were employed in the secondary sector and there were 134 businesses in this sector. 10,014 people were employed in the tertiary sector, with 985 businesses in this sector. There were 7,741 residents of the municipality who were employed in some capacity, of which females made up 46.4% of the workforce. In 2008, the total number of full-time equivalent jobs was 9,458. The number of jobs in the primary sector was 6, all of which were in agriculture. The number of jobs in the secondary sector was 1,246, of which 433 were in manufacturing and 688 were in construction. The number of jobs in the tertiary sector was 8,206. In the tertiary sector, 1,749 or 21.3% were in wholesale or retail sales of the repair of motor vehicles. 228 or 2.8% were in the movement and storage of goods. 614 or 7.5% were in a hotel or restaurant. 218 or 2.7% were in the information industry. 3 382, 4.7% were the insurance or financial industry, 2,150, 26.2% were technical professionals or scientists, 432, 5.3% were in education, and 1,437, 17.5% were in healthcare. In 2000, there were 8,153 workers who commuted into the municipality and 4,049 workers who commuted away. The municipality is a net importer of workers, with about 2.0 workers entering the municipality for every one leaving. About 1.2% of the workforce coming into Vevey are coming from outside Switzerland, while 0.0% of the locals commute out of Switzerland for work. Of the working population, 25.2% used public transportation to get to work, and 42.2% used a private car. Religion. From the 2000 census, 6,676 or 41.2% were Roman Catholic, while 4,224 or 26.1% belonged to the Swiss Reformed Church. Of the rest of the population, there were 427 members of an Orthodox Church. There were 8 individuals who belonged to the Christian Catholic Church, and there were 685 individuals who belonged to another Christian church. There were 43 individuals who were Jewish, and 1,083 who were Islamic. There were 52 individuals who were Buddhist, 47 individuals who were Hindu, and 38 individuals who belonged to another church. 2,189 belonged to no church, are agnostic or atheist, and 1,050 individuals did not answer the question. Weather. Vevey has an average of 124.1 days of rain or snow per year, and on average received 1,234 millimeters of precipitation. The wettest month is August, during which time Vevey receives an average of 138 millimeters of rain or snow. During this month there is precipitation for an average of 10.7 days. The month with the most days of precipitation is May, with an average of 12.7, but with only 112 millimeters of rain or snow. The driest month of the year is February, with an average of 78 millimeters of precipitation over 9.4 days. Education. In Vevey, about 5,104 or of the population have completed non-mandatory upper secondary education, and 2,069 have completed additional higher education. Of the 2,069 who completed tertiary schooling, 43.5% were Swiss men, 29.2% were Swiss women, 15.4% were non-Swissmen, and 11.9% were non-Swiss women. In the 2009-2010 school year, there were a total of 1,968 students in the Vevey school district. In the Vaud cantonal school system, 2 years of non-obligatory preschool are provided by the political districts. During the school year, the political district provided preschool care for a total of 817 children, of which 456 children received subsidized preschool care. The canton's primary school program requires students to attend for 4 years. There were 1,024 students in the municipal primary school program. The obligatory lower secondary school program lasts for 6 years, and there were 852 students in those schools. There were also 92 students who were homeschooled or attended another non-traditional school. As of 2000, there were 712 students in Vevey who came from another municipality, while 537 residents attended schools outside the municipality. Vevey is home to the Alimentarium, the Musée Géniche and the Musée Suisse de l'Appareil photo museums. In 2009 the Alimentarium was visited by 61,358 visitors. In the same year the Musée Géniche was closed for renovations, but the average in previous years was 17,286, and the Musée Suisse de l'Appareil photo was visited by 10,989 visitors. Vevey is home to the Bibliothèque Médiathèque Municipal Library. The library has 64,994 books or other media, and loaned out 153,629 items in the same year. It was open a total of 273 days with average of 34 hours per week during that year. Pre-Clara Haskell. The Clara Haskell International Piano Competition is held biennially in her memory. The brochure reads, "The Clara Haskell Competition was founded in 1963 to honor and perpetuate the memory of the incomparable Swiss pianist, of Romanian origin, who was born in Bucharest in 1895. It takes place every 2 years in Vevey, Switzerland, where Clara Haskell resided from 1942 until her death in Brussels in 1960. In modern music, Rick Wakeman, keyboardist for the progressive rock band Yes, recorded the final organ portion of the song Awaken, and the organ part in the song parallels both on the Yes album, going for the one on the pipe organ in St. Martin's Cathedral in Vevey. Vevey, along with the vineyards of Vaud, are mentioned in the song Vaud on Singer Prince's album 2010. Photo gallery. Notable births: François Louis Guy Chocolatier 1796–1852, Ernest Ansermet, orchestral conductor 1883–1969. Notable residents past and present: Olga Baklanova, Russian-born actress; Mirjam Bruch-Cohen, Israeli fiber artist; Charlie Chaplin, British comedian, director, actor, and writer; Peter Cowie, film historian, romantic movement; Fyodor Dostoevsky, Russian novelist; Dionyzy Uvornik, Croatian football player; Nikolai Gogol, Russian novelist; Graham Greene, British writer; Clara Haskell, Swiss-Romanian classical pianist; Bruno Hoffmann, German glass harp player; Victor Hugo, French poet and writer; Edouard Généré Le Corbusier, Swiss architect; Paul Duon, Germanized Russian composer; Oskar Kokoschka, Austrian painter; Edmund Ludlow, general and politician in Oliver Cromwell's government and enemy of King Charles I; John Pentland Mahaffey, Irish academic; Nikita Magaloff, Georgian Russian pianist; Jules Massenet, French composer; James Mason, actor; Thomas Medwin, writer and biographer of Percy Bysshe Shelley; Claude Nicollier, first Swiss astronaut; Daniel Peter, inventor of milk chocolate and chocolate bar; Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Swiss writer and philosopher, arguably the father of the European Romantic movement; Françoise Louise de Warens, benefactress and mistress of Jean-Jacques Rousseau; Percy Scowls, English musician and writer; Robert John Mutt Longy, record producer and songwriter; Shania Twain, Canadian country singer-songwriter; Thabo Sefolosha, basketball player for the Oklahoma City Thunder; Henryk Sienkiewicz, Polish writer, recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature for Quo Vadis. His statue stands in the garden of the Grand Hotel du Lac. Auguste Saucine, surgeon, native of Vevey; Henry Philip Tappan, first president of the University of Michigan; Duncan Jones, film director, and his father David Bowie, musician. Infrastructure. Vevey Railway Station, the first station to be automated in 1956, is served by several routes of the LE-AQTMANRER commuter rail system. It has frequent trains to Blenheim, Lausanne, Geneva, Montreux and Villeneuve, among others. The Vevey Chardon-Montpellier funicular links Vevey with the summit of Montpellier. The Vevey-Villeneuve trolleybus line is the last remaining of the 5 interurban trolleybus lines that have existed in Switzerland. It largely follows Swiss Main Road No. 9, passes through the municipalities of Vevey, La Tour-de-Pels, Montreux, Vaud and Villeneuve, and serves a total of 41 stops. Also known as Line 201, it operates every 10 minutes during the day between termini at the base station of the funicular and Villeneuve. The number 213 bus line, operated by motorbuses, goes up to Châtel Saint-Denis and Bossonnens. There are also late-night Petit-Prince buses. Vevey is well connected on the lake with boats going to all the major harbours like Le Bouveret, Saint-Gingolph, Evian, Lausanne and more. International relations. Twin towns. Sister cities. Vevey is twinned with Carpentras, France. Mulheim, Germany. Locarno, Switzerland.